Friday Night Funkin Neo is one of the best remix mods available with B-side and D-side behind it. Not only did they switch the overall aesthetic to give this game a pure theme, but they switched up the songs to fit said theme, and most players, including myself, say this is straight up vibes. The first version of this mod was released in early 2021, and from the original design that we got, it just seemed like a recolor remix mod, kind of like B-side. But eventually later in the year, we got the 3.0 update, and I believe this is how you revamp and update a Friday Night Funkin mod. Extra weeks, a whole new aesthetic and vibe. We got new character designs, updated versions of songs, and the addition of week 5. On another note, Neo is a very cool mod from how it looks. This was an update that was worth waiting for, especially with what we had prior, and it was definitely worth the wait for me to be able to rank these. Let's do it.
2, 1, go!
Left, right, left, 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 right. Up, left, right, down, up, down, right.
Not the best of the original tutorials from other mods, as I get more of a lo-fi vibe from this. It's not boring for as slow as it is, but something about it just doesn't make me want to come back to it. Maybe it's the overall flow of the music, or maybe I don't think the vocals really fit the instrumental until Boyfriend solos the rest of the song, which is the best part of it. I know it's just to get the player ready for what's coming up, but there are better sounding tutorials out there.
Up, right, up, left, up, down, down. Up, down, down, down.
3, 2, 1, go!
Okay, I want you to hear me out on this. I have my reasons for these next 3 rankings, okay? I'll get this out of the way and say that the new week 1 songs compared to the old songs from week 1, I believe it was a downgrade. Something about those older songs really hit for me, and now they aren't my first picks. They added parts of the song to fit the idea of a revamped mod with better sounding songs, and these sound good, but the first versions we got before the revamped mod sounded so much better in my opinion, and I don't like these enough to continue going back to them constantly.
Three, two, one, go!
This is the same idea of adding more to a song, but it doesn't hit the same as the original. With the additional instrumentals, the tone is switched up to a 10, and it's not the best, honestly. Don't get me wrong though, certain parts sound really good with the new additions, but I think they overstay their welcome. It's not bland, it's not boring, but it's not going to be my first choice, as you can tell.
Three, two, one, go!
This is the closest week 1 song that sounds most like its original, and I can tell they changed a few things, but they are very, very minor, and you'll really have to listen in order to notice. The sound is more pronounced, and it does sound better overall, and I think it's the best week 1 song of the update. My overall thoughts on week 1 was a letdown, because I really wanted to hear the old versions of these songs with updated charting, but it is what it is.
Three, two, one, go!
The only reason as to why this is so low is because the volume of the voices are very low. The sound effects and the instrumental really overtake the song. You can barely hear Pico and Boyfriend. They're the ones that sound like background noise. I like the overall song. The charting is really cool, as if this was a true sequel to the original Blammed. When I'm actually able to hear the voices, it sounds really good, and the duo of Boyfriend and Pico is a good one to listen to. But there are better duos, honestly. If the volume of the voices were higher, then this would have been in my top 10, but that's the biggest flaw with this song.
Three, two, one, go!
This reminds me of something that is very memorable, but for the love of God, I cannot remember what it is. It's so familiar. It was on the tip of my tongue. I just don't remember. It's very familiar sounding, and the vocals work off of it very well. It sounds pretty cool and makes me feel like I'm a very tiny James Bond with rapping skills. That's why with the references, but I'm not so sure. I need to know what that's off of, because I know I've heard it before. Although I can't help but hear a bit of repetition, as I feel like the vocals and instrumental were repeated a few times too many, and it gets old pretty quickly for me.
Three, two, one, go!
There's this calm feeling we get at the start as we rap normally. It does have elements of the original Eggnog in there, with an interesting vocal range, and charting is pretty simple. Although I did realize that Daddy Dearest has the most vocal time between him and Mommy Miris, at least until the twist. After a black screen, the pacing goes up by a bit. Things are starting to sound more cursed. As the visuals slowly come back into vision, we see a very disturbing environment, as if everyone has been transformed into the corrupt beings. After some time, at the end of the song, we pass out as we hear the lemon monster in the distance. In relations to the story, this is amazing and feels so intact with the story of Boyfriend and the lemon monster. As a song, it's not bad. Not the most replayable, but it's worth a visit every now and then.
Three, two, one, go!
I really like this take on Philly. It gives us a more hip-hop and trap feel with the beat. It feels and sounds like a real song that an artist would make to a certain degree. It keeps to the original in a unique way with the charting. The vocals are pretty simple, but I like how they match up with the beat. This is a song I was thinking would have a cool duo with Boyfriend and Pico, but I think the turn-based style of vocals makes this work very well. They don't need to be rapping at the same time in order to give the song more emphasis. My only problem with this song and the reason why it's so low on the list is the exact same reason why Blamed is so low. The vocals of both characters are too low. Not only does the beat overbear the sounds of Boyfriend and Pico, but even the sound effects of the police in the background are louder and you can barely hear them, just like Blam. It's like trying to yell at someone for not doing the dishes, but instead of actually yelling, you whisper it to them while making it seem like you're yelling at them with hardcore body language. You might as well just yell at them.
Three, two, one, go!
A more hyped up cocaine-filled version of MILF. The original was more of a Xanax high, honestly. A slight build up to get things started as we soar through the sky in fear for our lives as the bass somehow isn't causing us to lose altitude. The charting is super challenging and it's all over the place. The vocals sound so natural and don't forget, we're in the sky. I'm surprised we never run into a bird or something. This is one of the most fun sounding songs in the game.
Three, two, one, go!
This is a much better vibe than Eggnog because instead of slapping us in the face with the cursed image, this song keeps up the vibe throughout the entire song. It's one that I go back to a lot because it sounds really homey and it really fits the environment around us. I love the background with the Neo designs of these Friday night icons with guest appearances from B3 Boyfriend and Soft Boyfriend. Some of my favorite new Neo designs are Neo Witty, Hex, Matt, and Ex-Girlfriend. Now I'm waiting for Neo Cloud and Tossler for the future. Thank you.
Three, two, one, go!
I didn't expect Skid and Pump to be such savages in this mod, but their songs are fire, and this is one of them. The same idea as Philly, where it can make for a really good hip-hop song to this extent. The beat is very catchy and the vocals make them even more fun to listen to. They updated this song to extend the duration and basically give us a second verse to the song compared to the original, and it sounds really good. Comparing this to what's coming up, this is a song that I would rank higher, but everything else I got performs much better for me.
Three, two, one, go!
Something about South and having the sound of an orchestra backing it up in the instrumental that dominates the entire song, it just screams yes to me. It's an evolution of the previous song, faster pacing, more intense charting, and the best version of the South remixes. But other than the instrumental being these eccentric horns, it's the vocals that carry it. The duos mix so nicely, and it's satisfying to listen to as they rap against each other at intense speeds to make it one of the better South remixes out of the other South remixes in other mods.
Three, two, one, go!
Without a doubt, my favorite variation of High in any Friday Night Funkin' mod that remixes it. It's better than the original, D-side, and others in my opinion. It just sounds better. The duos really bring it together as they really work off of each other very well. I'm a big fan of the instrumental, the fast pace of the song, and the really fun charting. Overall, a great remix of an above average song. Also, we're still in the sky, scared for our lives.
Three, two, one, go!
You think the original Satin Panties was good? Well, let's take that, remix the song to something super catchy, completely flip the overall environment, and go from being on top of a limo at high speeds to being on top of a limo at high speeds in the air. Boyfriend's face is hilarious as he's terrified but also trying to play it cool as if he has done this every day. It's like saying you skydive all the time when in reality it's just indoor skydiving. I love the chorus, the hooks are really good, the vocals are executed perfectly. It can make for a really good pop song.
Three, two, one, go!
Well, look at this, all the children in the place now. Hope you mind if I upstage you. Oh, I drop by to let your careers to waste now.
I love lyrical performances, and it's so rare to see these type of songs in Friday Night Funkin'. This is one of the best of very few lyrical performances in the entire FNF mod universe. This plays as a prologue to a much better song that we'll get to here in a minute. I'll tell you this, my commentary cannot do this song or the lyrical vocals justice, but I can say that this song writes itself in a way that makes you wonder what could possibly be next. I guess we'll just have to find out.
Just a couple corny jump scares. Screaming for a second's no time.
So you're probably wondering why I'm giving old songs an honorable mention. Well, I did just that in my last FNF ranking when I mentioned a song from the original mod before it got rebooted. This time around, I'm going to mention 8 different songs, as I prefer these over the new songs we got in the 3.0 update. All of week 1 and 2 songs, Philly, The Menu, and Game Over songs. I prefer the older versions of all these songs, as I think with the new songs, mainly week 1 to where they would originally be in the top 7, but they ended up being my least favorite songs in the update mod, which is really unfortunate. Although I do like the Menu song, I do like the Game Over song, as again, just like the playable songs you play, they are updated to fit the idea of a revamped mod. I just prefer the originals.
2, 1, go!
Calm down and gaze a little wider, look at the lovely world I've made up. Let me inject more life inside it, please don't be frightened, child, dissolve your fear. Way to sound how to stop, why not with a gentle touch? Just some words of thin hallucination, promise it won't hurt too much.
This is the next chapter of Illusion, and I want to mention the title going from illusion that goes straight to hallucination, as it fits with this theme of Boyfriend and the Lemon Monster, as he is the only one who can physically see him. This song takes the instrumental of the original South song and amplifies it, and the lyrics are a lot more aggressive and intimidating, as this man was basically spawn camping throughout the entire story after week 2. The environment is so much scarier than the broken city from week 2, as we got corrupted characters in the background. Even the charting makes things interesting, as it's much faster paced and harder than Illusion. If this is what happens whenever I see hallucinations or illusions of my own, I'm never gonna sleep again.
Serve you two friends around. Witness a holy, I'll protect you, that is if you can't fight them on your own. But I can do the things I best do if you don't hear my words in mind alone. Let my voice shoot through your brain just like a laser beam. Take a deep breath, sleep a little while as I creep into your dreams.
There are so many things about the Neo update that absolutely make this an icon. From the original that was more so a beta for what we have right now, it's such a great mod. I do have my problems with some of these songs, but I really like Neo. I love the futuristic aesthetic and the colors are beautiful. I promise I don't have a bias because my channel colors and the color schemes of this mod are very similar. Like I mentioned in the honorable mentions, I prefer some of the original songs to the new ones. I personally wish that instead of adding more to the songs, they would keep the old songs as they are and just update the charting. I understand that this is a revamped mod and this is getting a complete makeover, so you might as well switch up the music while you can, but that's just my personal preference on those things. It doesn't make the mod any worse, and I know there are fans of this mod who love the updated songs that I don't like and vice versa, but that's the fun of making these ranking videos. I put my personal lists out there for everyone to see, and I can see people's reaction to it, whether it be in video form or in the comments. It's cool to see other people's perspectives on these types of videos that I make. I can't believe I went on a tangent about this. I wanted to talk about it for a sec. The Neo mod is great, and from what I know, there is a 4.0 update that is currently in progress, so there's a possibility that this list will be very outdated. Am I gonna make another video ranking the Neo songs again? I guess we'll just have to wait to find out.